Is bike time the only way to be able to build bike fitness? So the quick answer is no, it's not. And in this video, I'm going to explain why and what you should be doing to be able to ride harder for longer periods of time and ultimately enjoy your riding more. So when you go out and ride, okay, riding develops the skill of riding. Your body's getting into certain positions. It's learning how to sit. It's learning how to stand. It's learning how to get in the attack position. It's learning what to do when you come up to a big rock garden or when you come up to a jump, okay, or when you're going through some sandy whoops or when you're going through braking bumps. Your body gets used to that. It gets used to getting in those positions. Now, much like training, when you first start training, okay, and you haven't done any squats before with some weights, the first time you do squats with weights, they're going to feel really, really awkward. You're probably not going to use very much weight. You're probably going to be going quite light. Maybe you're even using an empty bar. You're going to be wobbling all over the place. You're not sure where to get your knees and where to put your hips. You might be a little bit wobbly. And more importantly, you're probably going to pull up pretty bloody sore the next day, even though you probably haven't lifted too much weight. And so a funny thing happens. As you keep training and as you keep doing more squats, you get better at the squats. Okay, it's easier to get into position. Before, you had to think about where to put your knees and where to put your feet and where to put your chest and bracing your core and all that sort of stuff. And then you do it for a while and you don't have to think about that stuff anymore. Your body just does it automatically. The other thing that happens is you also start to lift a lot more weight with a lot less soreness. So think about that for a second. The first week, okay, you lifted less weight with a lot of soreness. And then as you keep training, okay, you lift more weight with a lot less soreness. Why is that? Why does that happen? It's because your body gets a lot more efficient, because it's getting used to the movement, because it's done it so many times. It's using less energy to be able to move more weight. Why is that important for riding? Because the same thing happens when you go and ride or when you go and race, okay? If I haven't ridden for a long period of time and then I go and ride, my body doesn't know the positions, okay? It's using a lot of energy to be able to ride, to get into the right positions, and I'm probably going to pull up pretty sore and pretty fatigued the next day. Whereas if I do a bit more riding, let's say I go once a week or once a fortnight, and I'm more consistent with my riding, my body gets used to being in those positions, okay? It's able to get into those positions a lot easier with a lot less effort, and I can do them faster, I can do them longer periods of time, just because I'm doing them more. So that's the importance of bike time, okay? The more time you can get on the bike, the more efficient you get at getting into those different positions and riding, the more efficient you get, the less energy you use. Now, the real problem is to be able to get to that point where your body can get very efficient on the bike and it can get into those positions quite easily, you have to have done a lot of reps. And what I mean by that is you have to have had a fair bit of bike time. So when you go and ride, if you just go and ride and you do one lap or you go and ride for a few minutes, it's probably not going to be too helpful in developing your skills, because you're going to spend more time at the, in the pits or at the car than you actually are riding. So that's where all the gym stuff comes in. That's where the strength work and the weight work and all the cardio work comes in with the training during the week. Because if you can elevate this stuff, if you can get yourself stronger, okay, and elevate that and get the bike to feel lighter, if you can improve your endurance by doing the right type of cardio, you're going to be able to ride harder for longer periods of time. And if you can ride harder for longer periods of time, what that means is you're going to develop your skills on the bike a lot quicker. And if you can develop your skills on the bike a lot quicker, if you can get more efficient on the bike, standing and sitting and getting into all the positions, what that means is you're going to use less energy on the bike. But the first thing that has to happen is you have to have done enough reps on the bike. You have to have spent enough time on the bike, okay? And that doesn't always come down to riding 4 times per week. It just means when you are going out riding, how much time are you actually getting in the saddle? How much time are you actually spending riding, doing good quality riding that's going to help you improve? Or are you going riding once a week, but when you get out there, you keep stopping all the time and you keep having breaks and you keep having a talk and you spend more time at the car than you do riding? That's ultimately what we're working on. So it's not about always just more bike time, more bike time. It's about better quality bike time when you do get out there. And the way that you do that, more so in the beginning than when you're already at a high level or you're already super fit, is you need a base to be able to build from. You need some strength to work with. You need some cardio to work with so that you can actually get out there and put enough time on the bike inefficiently to be able to get efficient. And then when you can do that, you can speed up your process of how quickly you develop, how much time you can spend doing skills work. You can go and do work with a riding coach, and you can actually implement more of that stuff that you learn from the riding coach because you're fitter, because you can implement it for a longer period of time and you can put more effort into it. Whereas if you don't have that base, it's going to be very hard for you to implement all of those skills consistently because you're going to be buggered and tired much earlier on. So get out there, plenty of bike time. Yes, that is part of the answer, but it's not the answer. You also need a good base of fitness and strength. If you'd like some help with this stuff, apply for my Faster Laps program below. Otherwise, hopefully you enjoyed this video.